Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I want to give you an update on my race car. For those of you who don't know this car yet, this was actually my first 202 at all. I bought this car 2015 and my goal at that time was to just have a nice project where I can build stuff, try stuff out, and have some kind of race car at the end of this project. And my goal was to build this based on a diesel engine. At the time I wasn't even much into Mercedes, but I researched for nice engines, diesel engines which could handle a lot of power, and that's why I figured out about the OM605 and OM606 engines. And so my thought was to just buy the car where this engine is originally in and turn this into some kind of track tool. A side goal was also to do this supercharged, because when I was 18 I built my first project car, let's say, and it was based on a Peugeot 106 with the 1.5 liter diesel engine. And I supercharged that with an SLK supercharger, so the Eaton M45. And this was a nice project. I had a lot of fun with it and it was kind of unique. And that's why I wanted to repeat that, but with more power and more professional. That's the story behind this project, why I started it and how I came to the 202 and also the diesel engines. And so after racing this 3 years now and having a lot of fun with it, learned a lot about it, also had a lot of frustration with it because racing a diesel engine is not easy. There's not much experience out there, and cooling is a big topic for this. You can see that in my older videos when I talk about cooling systems. But I decided now to go with petrol because it's some kind of new chapter in my life. I want to change things up a little bit and gain some kind of new experiences, build new engines and have new setups. So that's why this car is becoming a big makeover now, and I'm kind of right in the middle. So there happened a lot, but there still has to happen a lot to make this run again on the track. But I want to give you a detailed view on what I change. Some parts I built on this car will be also available in the shop in the future. And I think this might be interesting for some of you. First of all, let's give you a view around the car. Nothing much to see from the outside, so no big changes yet, but I'm planning on, for example, putting a splitter on the front to get some aerodynamic happen here. The windshield is new. There were a lot of cracks, and other than that, the rear wing I changed a little. I wanted to save some weight and also make it look cooler, more like the DTM cars. So I erased this upper wing element here and made new shields on the side and also make some kind of pocket here to catch some more wind. So this saved some weight, and I think the aerodynamic will be also better, hopefully. From the inside, this is something you won't notice, but I erased a lot of sheet metal. There were some sheet metal elements here which I cut out. I cut out a lot actually, but this is something which you don't notice if you don't know where it was. I put some stiffening elements here so the force of the wing can be put better into the chassis. Also on this side. The tank system is still the same, but as I will change from diesel to petrol, I will have to exchange some parts. Of course, the fuel filter, and I will maybe change the pump or something. And of course, I will have to clean this up very good, but this will happen in the future. From the inside, you see I'm changing up the electric at the moment. There's a big cable salad, as we say in German. And the battery will be some kind of ultra super light race battery. Made some minor changes here, like this shield to have a better view on the instrument. Paint this black for better view. The steering wheel will be changed, will be a smaller one, because I will go back to power steering. This will actually add some weight, but this car was very hard to drive without power steering, and I don't want to have this kind of drivability anymore in the future. I want to have it drive like a nice light car. Then have a look in the engine bay. Painted this all. This was dirty as peep. And of course, when I switch the engine to petrol, I can go with a smaller intercooler. So here I have an intercooler from the W202, the V8 models, which is very light but also has some good cooling power. And I also changed to a new boost cooler. It's some kind of new model. They don't go straight now, they have some kind of small pockets here. I'm not sure if this is any good, but it's actually also lighter as the old one. I tried to save weight wherever I could. I actually changed a lot on the suspension. You will see more about that when I lift up the car, but from the top you can already see that I changed the mounting point for the dampers on the chassis. Normally you have this kind of rubber sandwich and which clamps on the chassis, and I switched to own developed Uniball kit. I'm still thinking about putting this on the online shop, but this is something you can't assemble to a normal road car, because there is no space. You normally have their sheet metal going back, and there is no area to drill holes, no space to drill holes. But let's see. I switched to a new, how is this called? I don't know. But this is aluminium now and also lighter. This is from a 204. It needed some modification so it fits, but this saved also some grams. I switched to an electronic throttle position sensor because the engine will get an electronic throttle body. But I think this is mainly it which can be seen from the top, so I think it's time to lift up the car and I will give you more details on the axles and suspension. Now you see more of the major changes. My goal was to make the car more direct and stiffer and also lighter. So I changed the brake system. This is now a disc with an aluminium inner element, which saves a lot of weight. And also this caliper is much lighter than the one from the C43 AMG I had before. And I want to offer this kind of brake kit also in the online shop, but that's something for the future. It still needs some development to also have it road legal. What I also did, I developed a Uniball kit for the front axle. So we have now these kind of OEM bushings, bearings, which are actually much bigger than the one you know from the rear axle. And they're now inside of the bearings here and there. Where is it there? And also in the top. So the whole axle is now with Uniball, and it should be very nice on the track, very stiff, very agile. And this will be available soon in the online shop. And then let's see on the rear axle. I did the same actually. The new and bigger brake kit also saves some weight. I have a caliper here from the Mercedes ML, but it also needed some modification. I had to put some distance plates here to make it fit on a bigger brake disc, which have like ventilation inside, and also the connection to the car itself needed to be changed. This is a disc from a Mercedes SL, which has a diameter of 320, and yeah, I'm very curious about the performance of this brake system. I think it should be very nice, but I haven't tested it yet. So the bearings of the rear axle stayed the same because they worked very well. When I built this car, I used plastic parts. So as you can see here, this is POM, a very nice technical plastic, very strong. And I had the same made here for those bushings. This is all plastic, and there wasn't any play after three years of use, so this worked very well, and I thought I will stay with this. But I'm actually developing an Uniball kit also for the rear axle, so all these bearings, bushings, you will be able to exchange to strong and stiff Uniballs. Also a major change is the differential. You see, this is no usual looking differential. This is an aluminium body, but it needed a lot of modification. There's also a limited slip differential inside, and I needed to customize those axles here, those CV joints. This took a lot of time, but I think it should be worth it. It saved a lot of weight on the rear axle. I also stiffened the axle frame a little. You see here. And refreshed a lot of things. But those are all the major changes right now. Now we are talking about the future. So the drivetrain will stay nearly the same with the 6-speed gearbox, but I will change some things, make it lighter. I will use a newer one, the one I used in my OM605 and M104 Turbo, which doesn't need this linkage here on the side. So also change the whole shifter linkage. And also the engine is one of the crucial topics, but for this I will do a separate video, I think, to go into more detail. This is the suspension which will go into the race car. It's specially made for this car for the racetrack. It's from the company Intrax, a company based in the Netherlands, and they do great stuff. These dampers are made from light material, so they're very light, and also the rest is very high end, very high quality. But this is actually nothing for the street. It will be hard to get it road legal here in Germany. That's why at the moment I'm talking to some German manufacturers for suspension parts to develop a nice track-like suspension for the street also, which can be road legal. And I think this will need a few months still, but you can be excited. There will be a lot of cool stuff coming in the future. That's it for this video. I hope this was somehow interesting for you, and I will try to keep you updated from time to time what I change on the race car.